A True Story, Christmas Eve, 1987. First Christmas angels were Grandma and Grandpa, who took the family in. They could stay there as long as they needed to. They lived in the village of Woodbury, just across the street from an elementary school where their daughter could attend school. They both had resumed their jobs after the last 6 months of chasing for a cancer cure and providing dignified dying conditions for their son. A short time later, they found a home to purchase in a different neighbourhood that was close by so that Megan could attend the same school. They had found a rock in Ms. Nordstrom, right at the time that she needed it most, as well as her parents, who were exhausted and rebuilding their lives. They had found a caring teacher who took their daughter under her wing in a very special way. She worked privately with Megan to bring her up to speed with her classmates, but it was ultimately recommended that she repeat the first grade. Miss Nordstrom would not have any of that. She did not want to lose the progress that they had made together. Ms. Nordstrom requested for a second-grade teaching position at the school, as well as requesting to bring Megan into her classroom the following year. She wanted to continue her progress without holding Megan back. Did I not say God sent an angel? Meg was a bright child, just a midlife damaged. Pam fixed that with her one-on-one care for 2 years, with the continuity of the same classroom teacher. She did this on her own, from her heart to theirs. At the time, this magnificent teacher was the single best grief response that they had received from the community and the most important resource that they had. Megan was their focus. She was now an only child, grieving her brother at only 6 years old. Megan was also recovering from the collateral trauma of being the younger sibling of brother battling cancer. She had lived in waiting rooms, surviving on stale chips and candy for 2 years. They stayed in the community for many years, with Megan finishing in the same elementary school where Pam continued to teach. They eventually moved to the country, and Megan finished high school in Hastings and where she graduated. She followed in the footsteps of her mother, went on to get her nursing degree. She married the perfect man, and they have 2 wonderful girls, one who is now going to school for a nursing degree as well. Pam Nordstrom was very touched, being a participant in their lives during the most challenging period of recovery following their son's death. Pam remained in contact with them for many years, eventually dwindling down to the Christmas card that she sent every year. They tried to reciprocate, and through several address changes, hers and theirs, they always received her card. Some years, the flow of cards changes, both sending and receiving. Address books change, and people lose touch. Not Pam Nordstrom. Every year, every Christmas a lovely card, family newsletter at times, and a personal note to them with a shout-out to their daughter Megan. This year, their cards were somewhat minimal, and they thought they had received the usual ones, all except for one. They were getting worried. It was almost New Year's Eve, and no card from Megan's teacher. For 38 years, it had been part of their Christmas story. On December 30th, Barb came into the house screaming, "We got it," she said. "We got Ms. Nordstrom's Christmas card." Mitch and Barb are now in their 70s. Many things have changed, but one thing has not: the Christmas card. This year's card included a long personal letter which they read together, and they were gobsmacked by her words, another gift of validation that hit them on so many levels. All this contained in that simple Christmas card with her personal words. Although they anticipate her card every year, they rarely have shared their story of their connection with Ms. Nordstrom and her family. Aside from the annual card, they have not had any contact since Meg was in her classroom close to 40 years ago. They have never even connected on any social media platforms. The synchronicity of this story, the OMG timing, and the serendipity, the blessing of the environment in which it happened, is beyond calculation, and why I must share. August 17th is an important date for the family for many reasons, and last year in 2024 they had traveled to Fountain, Wisconsin, to the state's very own Midwestern Stonehenge for a special ceremony. They were celebrating the solstice and watched the sun set and the moon rise as if orchestrated while sitting in a circle of stones. It was an enchanting evening. They stayed the night in an odd little Airbnb in Winona that Barb had stumbled on. It was a huge Victorian mansion. Imagine as if the Clue board game had come to life. Richard, a very elderly gentleman's gentleman, doorman, host, butler, librarian and historian, welcomed them to join him in the sitting room for a glass of Merlot or sherry. He then introduced them to the other guests, a minister and his wife and two newlyweds who were staying in the honeymoon suite. That was it. They stayed the night with an out-of-this-world elegant breakfast, lovingly prepared by Richard and his son for us all. In the evening, there had been 2 shots of Bailey's Irish creme and French chocolates next to their bed. A very unusual and rare, unpublicized, old-school bread and breakfast served by a dapper English butler in a grand old house on a downtown side street, nestled within the hedges among a lot of big old wealthy family homes in Winona. Mitch made a video highlighting the stay. They had loved the serendipity of it all. He made a YouTube of it for his channel. Highly recommended. Now we come to the magic moment within the letter that we got from Megan's teacher, Pam, that she had sent with her Christmas card. Her words.
Dear Barb and Mitch, December 2025. I hope you had a beautiful Christmas and that 2026 will be full of health and peace. I have a very pleasant little story to tell you. This summer, before school started for my daughter who teaches first grade in Woodbury, she went on a road trip with me. We packed the car with our overnight bags, grabbed coffees, and headed south to Red Wing, MN, to have lunch with a dear friend. After lunch, we kept driving south through Lake City and on to Winona, where I went to college, WSC, and Emily went to St. Mary's. We enjoyed 1 night and 3 days of visiting each campus, enjoying Garvin Heights and several other spots near and dear to our college days. Our home base, breakfast and nights, was a charming bed and breakfast on Broadway, and by total coincidence, directly across from a house I lived in during my junior and senior years. They had lovely breakfasts created by our host, Richard. Each night, he brought to our room a cordial of Bailey's and 2 sweet chocolates. While enjoying our nighttime snack, I started writing in the journal that was on the table for visitors of the room to write in. As I thumbed through to the next empty page, I came across an entry that caught my eye. Carpe diem, seize the day. Take a chance, leap of faith. Keystone, Fountain City. And so the story went until the end. Signed, Mitch and Barb. With tears in my eyes, I told Emily our story. Of course, she knows about our history, my love for Megan, the ornament I continue to hang on our tree, and my sadness for not attending Kelly's celebration of life. Barb and Mitch, we were in the same room that you stayed in exactly a year prior. It was a warm and sweet feeling to know you had been there. How wonderful to learn that your granddaughter will be a nurse. You and Megan have been amazing role models for her. I wish you happiness in Hawaii. What a wonderful trip full of memories and making new memories with your family. With love, much peace, health, and happiness in 2026, Pam Nordstrom.